Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson 777A here. I know it's been a while. I haven't been doing videos nearly as often as I should, but we're just kind of still just trading in a particular range. That's my dog squeaking his toy in the background. My apologies. But I wanted to kind of cover some of the news that I've seen, and then we're going to get into some charts and some of the performance of our miners and precious metals, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I wanted you to realize I did post something on the community tab. I am convinced Trump is going to end up with over 300 electoral college votes by the time this whole thing is done. So I've looked at a lot of analyses, and I'm convinced that this whole thing was a fraudulent thing put upon us, and this is all going to be uncovered, and we're going to be okay, folks. But I did notice that every time we see these videos, anything talking about elections, even mine, it will have limited monetization. So I thank you for being a member, because that allows me to still do the videos and talk about what needs to be talked about and tell you the truth, not what the media wants to tell you. But notice the AP has called a presidential race for Joe Biden. This is on Useless Tube here. And you'll notice that they do this on any video that talks about the election. And they'll do the same thing on this one since I'm covering it. So just remember, the media do not choose the president. They don't choose anybody. This is all where we have our electoral college, and you have to go through, whenever there's questions, legal challenges. But the electoral college, if I remember correctly, isn't done until like the middle of December. So there's plenty of time for all this stuff to kind of be checked out and resolved. And all of the states have to certify their elections, and there's quite a few going through recounts, and Georgia is now doing a manual hand recount. So this is going to take a while, folks. It's going to take a while. So just sit back and relax. But everything that I'm looking at right now, it looks like Trump's got this thing won, and they're going to set aside a whole bunch of these fraudulent ballots. They're just not going to see the light of day, and this is going to be okay. So I just wanted you to know that's my opinion about this. Now, curiously, several hours ago, I was trying to do my research and get my videos going, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong with YouTube. And it turns out there was a outage, and it says affected 286,000 users. Well, I don't know why the heck I was affected, except for maybe they know my content. I don't know. I was just thinking, but there was some kind of problem going on with YouTube, so that got taken out. Now, another thing, again, my ex-home state, we will say, was Florida, and I lived there for like 40-something years, but something's about to happen here, which is very interesting. They've got a hurricane that's reforming. It actually kind of had come across Miami, and it's coming back out here, and it's going to come back up and hit the state twice. And this location where it's going to hit just north of Tampa, this is a worst case scenario. Now, luckily, it's not going to be like one of these category 5s. It's still going to be a 1. But what happens is Tampa Bay here has a big water area that the wind, the way the thing spins like this, it's going to push water into Tampa Bay, and it's going to flood the crap out of it. Now, the storm surge may not be nearly that bad for this lower level hurricane, but still, there's areas like Shore Acres and Tampa, the lower Tampa area is going to be washed out pretty bad here. So this is going to be curious. So we got to watch this carefully. I've still got family down there, so I don't know what their plans are, but I would probably get the heck out of Dodge, because I don't know how much flooding they're going to have, but this could be pretty doggone bad. I don't even know how fast this is going to be moving. It looks like Saturday. So yeah, it's going to be fairly slow moving. In fact, you can see the state's already covered with rain already. But when this thing gets closer, it's going to be pushing water right into this Tampa Bay area here. Now today, gold was finished the day about, let's say, 1866. Silver finished 24.37, and platinum is 868. You can see it was down 0.67 for gold. Silver was up slightly, and platinum was down like 2%. After hours, we're just up a little bit on both of these, but not much. We had a very slight downward day here for gold, and then a similar down day for silver. it looks like things are starting to come back up in the wee hours of the night here. It's what is it now? It's about 10 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday evening. All right, so the chart has just banging in this range here. And you can see we went up quite a bit and then we're back down again right here. But it looks like it's stopping like around 1870 is this bottom line support. So it looks like we're holding right about that area. But I backed this all the way up to when I had started recommending everybody buy gold, and silver and platinum was all back at this range. And if you measure from this point to present, we're up almost 58% for gold right now. And if you look at it over the last, since that low point in December, nearly a year ago, we're up 28.5% from that time. So we've got, basically 30% in this year and then 30% this year. So that's kind of what we're averaging out. Now, last year, right at the end of the year, from like the middle of December to January, gold jumped up a bunch. It went up from $14.58 to $15.54, so $100 just in a couple weeks. So we'll see if the same thing happens here. But I want to remind you that we had a big jump, and it's pretty impressive, this trend here. I'm not going to do the pitchfork chart because I just did that like a week ago, and I think we don't need to be doing that every single time. But I just wanted to show you this longer term view of gold, and it's just doing fantastic. So today the S&P was up 0.77, NASDAQ was up 2%, Dow Jones was basically even. Eurozone was up basically 0.75, France 0.5%, United Kingdom 1.35. Over here, Hong Kong was down 1%. Everybody else was basically even or just slightly up. Japan was up 0.43. So our physical metals represented by the ETFs. Gold was down 0.43, platinum was down 2%, silver was up 0.4. So gold is 22.3, almost 22.4 for the year. Platinum is down nearly 11%, and silver is up 35%. Residential real estate's crawling back up. We're down 10% now for the year. And it was significantly worse than that, but it's slowly coming back. Now GDX is up 25.42 for the year. Junior gold miners is up 25%. Explorers up 26%. Large silver miners 29.7, and junior silver miners are still lagging significantly, 14.8. So overall, this portfolio is up 25%, but the improved portfolio, if I remember correctly, was something like 33%. So it's up 8% more than this. So this is lagging now compared to where it was before. So for the day, it was down 1.44, which is not a lot. But anyways, this is year-to-date performance. My apologies. I haven't taken my shower yet, and my voice is all croaky first thing in the morning. But anyways, I want you to have the chance to get in on some of these micro miners that have been phenomenal this year. For this coming year, I think we're still in the very early stages of this bull run, and we are going to see some phenomenal returns on these things. So rebalancing is coming up soon, and I recommend you consider becoming a member to be able to take advantage of this additional information that's going to be coming out. Now, occasionally I like to throw some information in here that things that I've learned over the years. I got this gray hair that kind of I like to just give back to the community, and I've talked about this before, but I want to reiterate a lot of things are in your control. And so when things sometimes start seeming like they're out of kilter, you're going to have to knuckle down and start doing just basically problem solving. I want you to realize nothing is insurmountable. I have been given some unbelievable challenges over the years through my not only work but personal life, and I have learned I've developed a skill of just generic problem solving. It doesn't matter what it is. I apply the same type skill to all these different types of problems. So let me share with you my approach. The first thing you try to do is eliminate emotion. You want to be able to think clearly through the problem, and so first thing is like at work, somebody would call you up and say, "Oh my God, we've got this problem." So a problem is reported, and sometimes I didn't need somebody to call me to tell me about it because I would work on these unbelievable problems, and I'd be hearing that they were working on it for 6 months or more before they'd call me in to go try to clean it up. They'd finally just give up. So the first thing I always did was I would gather data. I'd want to know everything that I could know about the problem. And that's what you need to do. It's like, try not to make this emotion. Use data to help support whatever you're trying to solve. Get data, research. Get other people involved if you need to. Bring in some experts. I never tried to do this myself. I would interview a whole bunch of people, and I would, sometimes I'd have to gather whole teams together and lock them up until we, could understand what the real issues were and then start driving a plan. So once you get all your data together, then you try to make a plan, because you're trying to show, like in my case, I was trying to show management, here's my approach, here's what I'm thinking, this is what the data says, we're being data driven. And we would then once you have a plan, you can always adjust it as new information comes available, but at least everybody could see what you were doing and where you were going, and that was hugely important. And it's the same thing in real life as well. You have to kind of sit down and determine first things first, how you're going to attack something. And I would always try to identify what I'd consider, most problems. Not every problem, not saying every problem works this way, but most problems, there's one or two things that can contribute 80% to the problem, and then there might be a whole bunch of other things that are 20% of the problem. I would always try to attack the 80%er first. Get the biggest bang for the buck. Don't try to fix everything. Just attack the things that are going to give you the biggest bang for the buck. The low-hanging fruit, all that kind of stuff. Do those things. After we made the plan, we would start executing the plan, and based on a prioritized order, and we would be monitoring what was happening. Were we making it better? Were we making it worse? And adjust accordingly. So that's kind of it. It's that simple. There's a circular process, and after you've hit it, you might have only got, say, 40% of the problem. So you go hit some of those other things that you thought were in the 20% and try to get it up to 80%. I always tried to make this to where there was a significant, noticeable change, so that the problem would go low enough down on the list where nobody was talking about it anymore. And this is the way it works in your life as well. I'm going through some significant challenges right now, but truthfully, I use the same approach, and I think it is working fantastic. Time will tell, but I'm feeling much better about everything, how things are working, and it's going to be wonderful the way things are working. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you, and I hope you guys are getting through things as well. I know this has been a tough year, and again, keep positive, think about everything that is going on, and just always be positive. I'm always positive about how I live my life, and I think it pays off. You end up with a much healthier perspective, and I think you're going to live longer too. Lower stresses, everything else. All right, so I think that's it for the report. I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless. Go potty. gonna go bye-bye? Are we gonna go bye-bye? Here we go bye-bye. We're gonna go bye-bye? Yeah, all right. You going to get in the car? We're not quite ready. I'm almost ready. You almost ready? Okay.